Hey there, guys. My name is Brandon, aka Suns Geek, and if it has to deal with the Phoenix Suns, I'm going to make a video about it. That is right, guys. We are going to talk about the Phoenix Suns and Washington Wizards game. But first, we have a very special guest, Michael, the AZ Sports fan. How's it going, man? Thank you so much for being on today's live stream.
No, thank you, man. Thank you a bunch. I'm super excited about it. We got NBA finally back. We don't have to just worry about the whole MLB season, which I have my own thing. I'm going to talk about that anyway. It's a different topic, but super excited. Basketball's finally back, and hey, we got a W. So hey, can't complain about that.
If you guys are subscribed to my channel, I highly, highly recommend the AZ Sports fan. I watch his videos. He's a great guy. Michael, do you want to go ahead and just let people know what you do on your channel? I mean, I'm sure a lot of people already know, but just in case they are new viewers, what do you do on your channel? And then follow-up question, how long have you been a Phoenix Suns fan?
Great question. So my name is Michael, whatever you want to call me, Mikey, I don't care. Basically, I go by the AZ Sports fan on YouTube. Born and raised here in Phoenix, Arizona. I pretty much do a lot of Cardinal content. Switching over to Diamondbacks. Right now, we're kind of having a little disagreement between me and the Diamondbacks right now, but that's pretty much what I do, man. I love the sports of Arizona, although we're probably not like the biggest, market out there, but I'm true and loyal to the AZ sports world. So decided to make a channel about it. So if you guys can subscribe to the channel, if you're not already, I noticed like a lot of people that have subscribed to me on this channel. So it's super, super cool. But yeah, I've been a Phoenix Suns fan for, honestly, like, let's 5 years. Like, let's be honest here. So I think Cardinals has always given me my first love, and I think most of the people know that. I just, how you feel about the Phoenix Suns is exactly how I feel about the Arizona Cardinals. So, but I do know that the Phoenix Suns are out there, and I'm super excited and want to talk about it, man. I want to bask in the glory of good things that are going to happen.
Exactly, man. And I think that's one really awesome benefit of your channel is you're covering it all and you're talking about it all. And then you're part of the Fan for Fan network. Is that correct? Did I see that?
Yeah, exactly. So basically what it is that me and a bunch of other YouTubers that are, which we call ourselves ambassadors. So whether it's like a Jets fan, Bills fan, San Francisco 49ers, we all kind of got together and we made a website. But we'll be doing a lot more collaborations, and we're kind of building our own network out for NFL teams. So I'm super excited about it. There's going to be more to come mid-August. So, keep us posted.
That's sweet. So yeah, guys, please go subscribe to the AZ Sports fan. His link should be in the description, all that good stuff. And we're going to just talk about this, you guys. I took a whole bunch of notes here. I have statistics. Most of you guys have been to the live streams before, so you guys know how I do this. I just kind of give my thoughts about it. I read you guys some stats and facts, and then I open it up to the chat. So if you guys want your comment featured, just start flooding the chat right now. Leave your comments, leave your questions, and I will get it on the screen very, very soon. So the Phoenix Suns did win this game 125-112. First game out of 7. I think the Suns have to like climb over 4 teams just to even crack the NBA playoffs. But it's one game. And I'll just give my thoughts real quick. I understand that the Wizards are injured right now. There's no John Wall. There's no Bradley Beal. They have a few other guys injured. I think a lot of Suns fans are going to say, oh, my gosh, we should have blown this team out. But think about it realistically. Like, the Wizards were going to come out and play scrappy. They were going to be in our face. And in my opinion, they were in our face the whole game. It's kind of like a boxing match or something. They were just ready to take those punches. And I thought that they did a good job. They deserve a lot of credit. I think this kind of woke the Suns up. I think they kind of got scared for a minute. It wasn't like the Suns were down 20 necessarily.
Right.
But like it kind of felt like the Wizards were in it all game. Just real quick, do you have any thoughts on what you thought of the game?
Yeah, absolutely. Pretty much kind of the same thing that you did. I was a little worried in the beginning, kind of going back and forth type of game, knowing that the Wizards is injured, within the players that they're missing. But they're a scrappy team, man. They're one of those teams where they will not back down. They don't care if they're down by, 15, 20. Like, they're going to keep fighting. And I think there was a little bit of moment of panic coming into the third quarter, the third quarter that I'm just like, oh man, like what's going on right here? But ended up kind of getting better. And yeah, I think they bounced back.
Exactly. Yeah, that sums it up right there. But there were a lot of good things that happened in this game. I don't know if you knew this, but Thomas Bryant is a Phoenix Suns killer, and I did want to spend some time just talking about him. I saw a stat earlier that over the past few games against the Suns, I'm not even kidding here, Thomas Bryant has averaged 24 points per game and 14 rebounds against the Phoenix Suns. That guy just loves to play against us. And then former Phoenix Sun Ish Smith had a really good game. I don't exactly know his stats, but let me just kind of talk again about the Wizards real quick. They started this game with Shabazz Napier. I think his name is Isaac Bonga, Troy Brown, Rui Hachimura, and Thomas Bryant. It's like, it's unfair for them, you know?
Right, right.
I've always said that injury shouldn't be an excuse. Probably, you know, you're a big Cardinals fan. You probably can relate to that. But it really, at times, it can be an excuse. And for the Wizards, it was. I don't know why. I just wanted to talk about that real quick. Let me see my other stats. This was kind of a game full of runs. The Suns led 30-22, and then all of a sudden it was 42 to 38, excuse me. And like we both said, the Wizards were playing hard. They were playing scrappy.
They were.
And then I don't know if you knew this, but all of a sudden, later in the game, Cameron Payne, Javon Carter, and Devin Booker went on a 16-0 run for the Suns. It was awesome.
Dang, that's what I'm telling you, man. I get it. Like I understand that the whole injury aspect it all, but I think what a perfect opportunity for the Phoenix Suns to start with, you know, a team like the Wizards, and like you mentioned, to kind of bring them to reality of like, come on, like we might not make the playoffs, but to push your way and to getting close to it is honestly all that fans are asking for at this point, right? I mean, what are truly the expectations? Championship? No, that's not going to be it. We want to see a team that's competitive and for futures to come for the Booker, for Aiden and Mikhail Bridges now, you know, rising up, and super excited about Mikhail Bridges though. Let me tell you that.
Yeah, thank you for saying that, because you kind of led me into something I wanted to talk about. And this was just stuff that I was just researching on. Is I feel like, sure, maybe the Suns can somehow surprise the world, pop the bubble, and make the NBA playoffs. But overall, it's kind of just about playing consistent for the Phoenix Suns. And that sounds cliche, but it's very, very true. Play at like a highly consistent level. And then Mikhail Bridges, we're going to talk about him a little bit later, but he only had 13 points tonight. However, in my opinion, he was the scrimmage league MVP. Like during those scrimmages, he was just insane. Go ahead if you had something to say.
I just like what I've seen from Mikhail Bridges just in general. I mean, I think that him just being on the court just kind of says it all. I mean, he just does things that sometimes aren't on the stats sheet, but he makes himself apparent. Like, I'm glad he's there. Like, I'm super glad.
Exactly. And it's one of those things, and this will take time. I mean, he's only in his second year, but it's more because you said it, like he does a lot of things that don't show up on the stat sheet, but he can become more than just a 3-and-D guy. Devin Booker said something along the lines of like, you can't put 3-and-D guys in a box, especially a player like Mikhail Bridges. He said something like that.
Right.
So let me keep on looking here. I wanted to read a really cheesy pun that I saw on Twitter.
Do it.
This comes from Fred Katz, who covers the Washington Wizards. I don't know if he thought of this joke, but he said, it's more of a question. What did the Suns center do when all the restaurants were closed? DeAndre ate in.
Oh, my goodness. Okay.
Oh, that's a terrible Phoenix Suns.
You got to give it to him. Hey, man. Hey, that was pretty decent.
All right. So at halftime, it was 67-52. Let me see. I'm just kind of reading some notes here. The Suns shot 52% in this game. The Wizards shot 46%. Not really the best defensive game from either team, because 46% shooting for the Wizards, that's not bad. You know, that's sometimes better than average. But one big thing I kind of wanted to mention, and we talked about this a minute ago, the Suns had 29 assists For me, that's a huge stat because when the
Right.
Suns get a lot of assists, they tend to win.
Yeah, I mean, and there's something that the announcement people said that they're seeing a lot more things from Devin Booker of like actually showing the ball. I think there was like 2 or 3 seconds left on the play clock. Instead of taking that three, he ended up, giving it to one of his teammates to get the glory. But honestly, I like what I'm seeing so far. Distributing the ball. That's something that we obviously know Devin Booker is a beast. Like everybody says it. We all know he's going to be MVP one day, hopefully. But I mean, I like right, exactly. I like what I've seen from him, honestly.
Yeah, the one thing that Monty Williams has done a really great job of is making this team pass the ball. I think one of his offensive game plans is called like 0.5 offense or something like that. But the ball movement ever since he's gotten here has just been amazing. The Suns are technically number 1 in assists. I think they're tied with like the Grizzlies at 27 a game. But again, for me, 29 assists. I know it's not all about numbers at the end of the day, but that ball movement is great. And speaking of Monty Williams, this was his 200th career coaching win, which is absolutely awesome.
Nice.
I'm going to open it up to the chat, but if you want to say anything else as far as thoughts on the game, or really if you just want to say anything, I'm going to start kind of browsing through the comments here.
Yeah, no, I just think that this is a perfect opportunity for everybody in the chat, all 24 people on here to, put your best question forward here. Make sure you flood the chat. Best thing that we like to thrive on is questions and people being participant in the chat just in general. So put your best questions on here, and then me and Suns Geek will try our best to answer those questions for you.
Exactly. Because I was like trying to cook up questions I wanted to ask you throughout this game, but really I was just taking notes. I kind of talked to you about it before we went live. I was just taking notes and just writing down the stats. Oh my gosh, I just remembered. DeAndre Ayton hit 2 3-pointers in this game,
exactly.
And they actually counted.
Right. And I think we kind of talked a little about this just before the stream, that you said there was a moment when I was watching the game and I saw him taking the threes and I had a moment of freak out. Like, is he really doing this? Like, why is he doing this? And then he made it, and then he made 2 threes. So I'm actually really excited. I mean, if this is going to be something, a step in the right direction for Ayton to put some points up in the board, by all means, I'm super stoked about it. Heck yeah.
Exactly, man. I can't believe that I didn't start off the chat by saying that.
Right.
It's awesome. I mean, these ones actually counted, and he's confident in shooting them. I made a whole video about it, and it's great to see. It's just another way that DeAndre Ayton can expand his game. The guy is still super young. He just turned 22 years old, so it is awesome. All right, so let's open this up to the chat here. Blue Burry says Ayton getting really good from 3. Hell yeah.
Yep.
I can't pronounce this first name, but this person has been in the chat before. So thank you for joining. I really appreciate that. Let me see. Josiah the Baller, one of my biggest supporters. He's always in these live streams. Big shout out to you, Josiah the Baller. I really appreciate you. D-Book went off, and his defense was good today, which is a plus. Yes. I'm not really a person that can say, oh, Devin Booker did this great on defense, or he did this great on defense, but that's what seems to be happening is Devin Booker played really well on defense. I'm trying to think if I have any questions for you. Was there anything you didn't like about this game, or did you kind of mention it earlier when you said it was kind of a scare that this game wasn't a blowout?
That's honestly not so much the scare of the blowout. There was a moment of the third coming back into coming back from the half that I was a little worried that, they went on a run and we were kind of just looking complacent. And Monty Williams' face on the sideline was like, come on, bro. You kidding me? We're not doing this again, because time and time again on a regular season before this whole thing that happened, it's happened multiple times when we had the lead coming in, going to the third, and we just lose it because we just kind of get complacent. And I didn't love that they started off, but I loved how they finished. And they didn't let him really get that lead. So I love it, man. It's cool. It's a step in the right direction, but we need to see more. It's more up consistency. It's not just, one game and hey, we're going to go to the championship. It's about building blocks to building your culture. And I feel like we got some good pieces here, man. We got some really good pieces.
Exactly. You took the words right out of my mouth. I mean, I could ask you questions all day but that basically just summed it up right there. Consistency, building blocks, culture, which I'm a big preacher on, building a culture for the Phoenix Suns, which I think Kelly Oubre has done a great job of that, by the way.
Right.
All right. So Sarge was great. I like to see him when he plays well. I've preached about it all season long, is that Dario Sarge has been big for us. He's had kind of an overlooked season. I've preached it before that I think he'd be a great sixth man. I don't know if you know much about Dario Sarge, but do you think you could see him coming out of that six, like being a sixth man for the Suns?
I don't know too much about him, to be 100% honest with you. Hopefully.
Yeah. He's good, man. I just think he's good coming off the bench or being a starter. I just think Suns fans are really high standard when it comes to a power forward.
Right.
And they're like, Dario's not the answer, but I'm like, he could be a six man. So we'll keep going into the comments, and Ben is backing up my statement. We have to resign Sarge.
I saw a question here, if you don't mind. It was a little bit higher. There was somebody was asking, when do you think Kelly Oubre is going to be back, if he's coming back at all?
Let me see. I'm just trying to get caught up here. Well, I guess I can answer the question until I find it. So when is Kelly Oubre coming back, if at all, was the question?
Yeah, exactly. Let me see if I could find it. It was a little high up here. Who had it? Very good question. And actually, I was curious about that too.
Yeah, that's a really great question.
Unless I honestly thought maybe it was in my head and I just, that's a possibility, because now, of course, I can't find it.
We can talk about it. As far as I know, and like the sources that I follow, the whole Kelly Oubre situation is really weird. And I'm honestly tempted to make a video about it. I think the only people who know if Kelly Oubre is playing or not is Kelly Oubre, James Jones, and Robert Sarver.
Yeah.
The reason I say that is because there's been times in the past where players have gotten injured and we don't hear anything after that. It's weird. I feel like this doesn't happen in most franchises. The media has been bugging James Jones about it, and he just won't give an answer. But yet you see highlights of Kelly Oubre on social media, and you see pictures of him, and he looks 110% healthy. I don't know if this ever happens to the Cardinals, but it's weird, man. I don't know.
That is a weird situation, man. Honestly, that makes me scared. I don't know. First thing I think about is maybe some sort of trade value. I don't know. What do you think, man?
That could be. I don't know. I've been
fortunate. Would that be though? Just because of a player like Kelly Oubre that everybody automatically fell in love with because of the passion that he played within the Suns. It would be really unfortunate to see something like that. Honestly, I would be disappointed if that happened. And
I've been really big anti-trade against trading Kelly Oubre Jr. Every time it gets brought up in a tweet or a video, I'm always the first to say, nope, this is not happening. We need to keep it Kelly Oubre. Right. I don't know what's happening. Maybe they're just like, look, you're coming off of a very serious injury, which I think is an Achilles. No. Knee injury, something with his knee. Right. I should probably know this. And I don't know why they're not playing him. I don't know. It's that whole situation is weird. But again, go ahead.
Oh, I'm just saying it's an interesting story to definitely follow. Honestly, I'm super curious to figure out what the Suns are going to do. We have Diego Perez here. He's taking the credit. He said, yo, I asked that question. Perfect. Well, thanks, Diego.
Hey.
Great question.
Speaking of Diego, he has a funny question. Who played better in this game, Ty or Cheick Diallo? Well, seeing how neither of them played.
Nice.
I feel so bad for Ty Jerome. He had so much potential coming in. He had a great college career. Suns fans know. They know about Ty Jerome. That's all I got to say.
Right, for sure.
Right. Let's see here. So Lennon the Wolf, the AZ Sports fan, shout out to you. So if the Trailblazers lose and the Suns win, that means we get the 9th seed between the Pelicans. This whole 8th seed, the race to the 8th seed is really confusing. That probably is partly true what you said. It's so confusing. I don't know. I just know that the Suns have to climb a big wall in order to get the 8th seed. So
and it's a huge wall. Exactly. So that's why I was one of the main things I was saying, we just got to focus on winning the games. If we make it, we make it. If we don't, then hey, just take that into the next season, man. Build that culture.
Exactly. Play consistent and play hard each and every single game. I've always been, this sounds weird, but I've always been a believer, like, even if you're getting like crushed by 20 points, play hard, you know?
Yeah.
Like knock a dude to a ground,
Yeah, dude,
block his shot, like
yeah.
just play hard. Let them know that, yeah, we're getting blown out, but we're still here, you know? Like, and I think that's what the Wizards kind of did today. They're like, we probably aren't going to win this game, but we're here.
That's exactly what they did, and that's what I want to see from the Suns from here on out, honestly. Like, that type of mentality should be game after game after game.
Exactly. So Ben says Javon and Cameron Payne low-key played well. I totally agree. Devin Booker and DeAndre Ayton played really good. Daniel says go crazy, guys, in the comments. Totally agree. Josiah the Baller says DeAndre Ayton struggled a little on rebounds in the first half, but he still had a great game. He did. His final stats were 24 points, 12 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 blocks, and 2 threes. So yeah. It's great. I love it. Welcome to the desert. I've seen you in the live streams before. I know you follow the AZ Sports Fan. What's up, man? Appreciate you joining.
Welcome to the desert. How you doing, my friend?
So Logical Hoops, he's been a subscriber of mine. He always brings some good stuff. Let's see here. Oh, hail DeAndre Ayton and D-Book. Yesterday, I was cheering for my boy LeBron, and today our squad, the Suns, got the job done.
Nice.
All hail King James.
Nice.
So Andrew says, how's everyone today? How are you doing, Michael? You doing good, man?
I'm good, man, honestly.
Let's take a break and just relax here for a minute.
Right, with the exception of, like I've been mentioning multiple different times, pointing at our other team of choice, the Diamondbacks, causing me, heart palpitations. Other than that, man, I think it's good. I think we're stepping in the right directions. Honestly, as long as sports are available and are around, I'm happy. I'm a happy camper. Whether it's the Cardinals, Coyotes, the Suns, or the Diamondbacks, I'm glued to the TV watching something because I want to be a part of something, man.
Exactly.
It's been long overdue since we had a championship here in Phoenix.
Right. Yeah, and really since the last time, I mean, if I'm correct, well, I don't know. I was trying to think of like when the Cardinals last went to the Super Bowl, Diamondbacks won in 2001. I know the Mercury have won a couple titles, but
they have.
Like, yeah, I agree. It's been a long time. Speaking of sports, I saw a picture and it was like, it literally showed the schedule of every single sports game throughout the week. I'll have to send it to you later. It was great. That got me really excited for sports.
Oh yeah, man. It's good things are happening. So I just hope, I know the NBA is solid. They're going to be doing good, but there's multiple different rumors out there that MLB might get shut down because of everything that's going on right now. And it's just something to kind of keep your eye on.
Yeah. If you don't mind me asking you, I don't want to start like a huge political debate here. But and I guess there's really no right or wrong answer. And you kind of just answered it though, but do you think the NBA bubble is working compared to like other sports? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think compared to how MLB treated it, yes, 100%. I think MLB kind of the bottom line, they were all kind of fighting over, it's hard to say, nickels and dimes because honestly, they were fighting over millions and millions of dollars, rightfully so. I mean,
but it's like nickels and dimes for them.
Yeah, exactly. Correct. Yeah, exactly. So it's frustrating because, everybody wants baseball back, but they're fighting over this. And now that we got it, we might get it taken away because everything that's happening. So it's really unfortunate. I think the NBA is doing wonders though, honestly.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, it's really looking good so far. I think players are really happy. You got to remember that there's no more travel. I mean, yeah, these players are like away from their family and friends, but no travel. Guys had times to heal. I think the bubble's been a huge, huge success. And I'm kind of one of those salty people. I'm like, I dedicate this to all the people that were like, the NBA is never coming back and the bubble's not going to work and blah, blah, blah. Like,
right.
I dedicate this to all of them.
Yeah, no, for sure.
All right. So getting back to the chat here, Andrew says Wizards definitely were trying to fight us. I tweeted out during the game. I was like, the only way that Devin Booker can get a foul call is if you just throw him to the ground. And I'm not even kidding.
Right.
So, I totally agree. 8 and 2 for 3 from the field. Diego says, if they had Ellie starting, they would have won by at least 20. I totally forgot about Ellie.
Yeah, him.
It's great. Ellie Okobo. It's funny, though. Ellie in the last scrimmage game kind of came in, I think, in the second half and had like 8 points. The dude can score. He's just not really like a point guard, you know?
Right. What are your thoughts on Payne?
Man, Cameron Payne has been great. And I caught his interview right before we went live. And he kind of talked about it before. But I think him being in and out of the league, which he has been, like woke him up. And I think that he loves being a Phoenix Suns player. He loves being back in the NBA. I don't know what his stats were tonight, but I think he had a good game.
I think so too, honestly.
Yeah. He can really take the ball to the rim. He loves to shoot threes. He's a lefty. I think he's done a really good job. I'm not saying he's like our backup point guard, but he's looking pretty good, man.
Yeah, man. For like you said, for somebody who has come in and out of the league to kind of land here, I honestly do think that you might have the talent, but it's also about the system that you're playing in with the players that you have as well. So hey, you never know, man, what's going to happen. He might land on something special here with the Phoenix Suns, having such a young squad, I guess you could say.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely know we're one of the youngest rosters in the league. He's still really young too. So still not sure when Aaron Baines will be back. I think Aaron Baines might have practiced with the Suns recently, but he was one of the players. Like he had the virus. I call it the virus.
Yeah.
So that way I don't get like demonetized. He had the virus, but it was like a month ago. But then he went public with it. Mm-hmm. I was making all these different videos and stuff. It's been a nightmare. I feel really, really bad for Aaron Baines. There was like a 9-minute interview that he had, and I guess his family members got it. But the positive to this, though, is that he is in the bubble with the team. He's healthy. His family's healthy. We could have really used him tonight. Yeah. Hopefully he's ready for games 2 and 3. Stay tuned is what I say for Aaron Baines. Just thank God that he's okay and his family's okay.
Absolutely.
So Jason, who's been in this chat before, thank you, Jason. Let's be completely honest. It was like the varsity squad playing a bunch of freshmen there. Was no talent on the court for the Washington Wizards whatsoever. The game shouldn't have even been that close. Do we have to say anything?
Yeah, right. Yeah, I mean, he's right in terms of the players that they're missing, but I just want to give him at least a little credit. I mean, I would love to give the Suns a little credit to be like, hey, come on, guys, we're stepping in the right direction. I'll give him credit.
I love this comment. He was in a few of my past live streams and leaving hilarious comments like that. I mean,
he is right. Like, you can't say he's wrong.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean.
Diego says Rui is a good player. I don't know if you know much about Rui Hachimura. He plays for the Washington Wizards. He's from Japan, I think. The dude is super talented. Don't really know his numbers tonight, but I think he played well.
Right.
Devin Booker is a beast. Let's see what else we got here. We're just getting caught up with the chat. Still got about 20 people in here. We've been live for about 30 minutes. If we get this book and Ayton every game, 20 plus with assists and boards, it's going to be dangerous. Yes. And I will throw in there that we still didn't have Kelly Oubre, who can also give you 20 a game. And Mikhail Bridges didn't really have his best game. So
true.
I agree with you, Logical Hoops. I agree.
What about Ricky Rubio, man? What about him? How do you think he played, in your opinion?
I think Ricky Rubio was kind of overshadowed tonight. I mean, I know numbers don't say it all, but he had 15 points, 9 assists, 3 steals. And I took this in my notes. He actually rested a lot in the second quarter, which I think was big. You know, I don't know if the Cardinals ever do this, but like I think they were kind of saving him because they knew this game was a lot closer than what it should have been. So smart decision, in my opinion. And it was a good way to experiment with our other point guards. Because like I said, you know, Javon Carter, Cameron Payne, Devin Booker led a 16-0 run by themselves without Rubio. So
that's crazy.
Yeah. So, yo, Geek, what game do you think Kelly will be? Oh, that might have been the question.
That's the question. There you go.
There we go. Diego. Yeah, right. I know. I was searching for that thing. I was like, I cannot find this question. How much threes do you think Ayton gonna be averaging? That's a good question because in the scrimmages, he only hit 2, if I'm correct, and I think he only took 2. So maybe he'll just start off slow, maybe just take 2 per game. Hopefully he can make 2 a game. That's a good question, though. I don't know. Good question from Blueberry. I love that name.
Right. If he's got the opportunity, I mean, if he's getting that, that green light to do so, and if he can hit him, hey, hopefully 3 to 4. Hopefully, I mean, we'll see, right?
Definitely. Yeah, I guess we'll see because, Aaron Baines had a really good 3-point year this year, and teams were leaving him open because they didn't know that he could shoot it. And I think we're seeing something similar with DeAndre Ayton.
Right.
By the way, did you see that my boy Andrew Leasis had tweeted, I'll get a face tat if DeAndre Ayton makes a 3?
Oh, God. Did
you see that?
I didn't, no.
Dude, it went viral.
Did it really?
It was on ESPN. It was on like all these social media platforms, and then the Suns. Let me find the tweet. The Suns had like tweeted, like, "Oh, now that he made a 3, this one actually counts. So you have to like get it or something." It was great.
Imagine, man. Imagine that. Getting your face tattoo off a 3. Wow.
But Andrew's been really cool about it. Andrew's one of those people, like, he'll tweet something and pay for it later,
Right, exactly. Maybe not a face tattoo, but something.
Yeah. All right. Getting caught up on the chat here. Wow, we got a lot of people commenting in here. I don't want to butcher your name, so I'm just going to call you FA. FA says Ayton still needs to improve his defense. Do you have any thoughts? Like, have you seen much about Ayton on his defense, or do you have any thoughts on that?
I still think he looks a little scared. I feel like Ayton's like such a big body dude where I feel like he's got to be physical. I mean, I don't think he's quite there yet. It might take him a little bit. And I've been saying that since he's been like in the league. He just needs to kind of, I don't want to put football terms, but put your just do it, man. He's got such a big body, and I feel like his defense does need to improve a little bit. And I kind of seen a little bit here as well.
Yeah,
but I think he'll just get better as long as he gets older. I mean,
definitely, I totally agree. Lennon Wolf, the AZ Sports fan, says if the Trailblazers lose and the Suns win, that means we get the 9th seed. And I feel like that's kind of where we're going to be at. Like, oh, if this team loses, then the Suns have to win this game. And
it's going to be like that.
I hate that stuff.
Like that the whole entire time. And it's kind of weird to kind of keep looking at that because I feel like there's going to be so much different little things that's going to be like, well, maybe you will make it. Maybe you won't make it. I feel like we could start talking about that maybe 4 games in, 5 games in, then we can start talking about, hey, maybe we can do it.
Right. We've been live for about 32 minutes now. We got 30 people in here, which is absolutely insane. I love you guys. You are all awesome. And all 30 of you should go subscribe right now to the AZ Sports Fan. You will not regret it.
Appreciate you guys. Thank you.
So my boy Roy is in here. 1-0. Hope we beat Dallas. Yeah, Dallas is going to be really tough. I don't know how much like NBA you actually watch, but I know you know the Luka hype. We've talked about it before.
Oh yeah, the hype is real. Yeah,
the hype is real. That's going to be a really good game. I can't wait I'm going to watch that game super closely. It's going to get tougher from here. That's all I got to say.
Oh yeah, the rest of the schedule, man. You had to win this game. If you didn't win this game, you had no opportunity to even sniff a thought of being like, oh, maybe we can make it.
Right.
You had to win this game. They did.
Grant says, get after it, boys. I appreciate you. We played on our heels all game, but damn, we're talented. Wow. That's a positive Phoenix Suns comment. I like
that picture as well. Great picture.
All right. Hitman X, who's been in my chats and subscriber for a long time now. I did not like the Suns' energy today.
Huh.
And we kind of talked about, I think we talked about Ayton, and people have been saying it in the chat.
Right.
He kind of had a quiet game today, and that could have been an energy. Maybe the Suns just needed to wake up. I think you're right, Hitman X. I agree with you on that. Richard says it's awesome to get the win, especially in a game we couldn't afford to lose against inferior competition. We need to cut down the turnovers to beat Dallas.
100%. Well said.
And I mentioned that before. I said both teams had a lot of turnovers this game. So I totally agree. Roy says we got to see the old D-book today, the scoring version. I like that. I agree, Roy. That's awesome. Stop missing Ayton on the alley-oops. How hard can it be to miss a flag goal?
I like that comment. Can we pin that one?
Seriously, bro, that's great.
That's a good one. I like that one.
Oh, man, that's awesome. Speaking of that, though, I remember right at tip-off, Ricky Rubio dished the ball to Ayton, and he scored. So just practice, communication. I agree, though. Like, you can't miss a flagpole.
Right, exactly. True.
That's so good. All right, I'm just getting caught up on the chat here. So if you have anything to say, go for it. I'm going to be popping up comments left and right here.
No worries. So, yeah, I mean, do you want to, like, talk about next week's matchup to see, like, I mean, are you saving that for next week? How do you usually run things here?
Great question. Thank you for asking. I don't know. I take it one game at a time, too.
That's fair.
I just try to cover all that I can. I kind of skipped out on the Toronto Raptors game because I actually had real life stuff to do.
For sure.
But normally I would have went live and then made a post game recap, which I'm thinking of doing. You know, it's early. I got nothing going on this weekend, so stay tuned possibly for a game recap of this, or maybe I'll just dive into the Mavericks game. Maybe that will switch it up a little.
Yeah, man, sure. I think a lot of people will get super stoked about it, man. We're only like 2 days away. This next game is Sunday.
Yep. These games are going to be flying in fast. And that's another thing too. I know that the Suns could be in a worse position right now because, you know, we could have not have gotten invited into the bubble.
True.
But and I've talked kind of about this with a lot of people. It's like, I wish the Suns had more time, you know? I wish instead of like 8 games, it was like 15.
Right.
You know, but, you know, we got to be fortunate and thankful for what we have. But it's like the Suns are in such a unique case and they have so much talent and stuff. And it's like, oh, you just wish we had more time.
Yeah, I mean, the more time, the more games, the more openings you'll get to make that spot in there. But I have a question for you, man.
Yeah,
what is the plans for the NBA for the 2020 season, 2021? What are they calling it right now? 2021 season? The one that's coming up in October when they usually start. Like, what's the plan? Are they going to start in October? Are they going to get pushed back? Or what are they going to do?
Great question. As far as I know, the season apparently is going to start sometime in December, which, you know, despite what's going on in the world right now, it feels like a lifetime from now.
Right.
They're still going to have an off season and everything. They're going to have the NBA draft lottery, NBA draft, but it's all really, really close to each other. I don't know how the NFL did it. I don't know how baseball's doing it, blah, 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 but that's how the NBA is doing it. I think I had something with like important key dates on it, but yeah, that's what it looks like. And unfortunately, you know this, we live in a world where one thing might be a certain way one week and then completely change the next.
Like that.
Yep. But again, I think we all have to really give props to the NBA because so far, fingers crossed, they're pulling this off.
I agree.
Yeah. Go ahead if you have anything to say.
No, I completely 100% agree with you, man.
They're keeping players safe. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just saying, keep doing what you're doing, NBA. You're doing really, really good things, honestly, because if you're following any other sports, and I'm talking about MLB, they got a lot to learn over there because they just kind of like threw them out there, and they're like, hey, good luck. We signed everything we need to sign. Good luck. And people have people getting sick left and right, and it's bad.
And that's the thing, man. Like, I'm not saying the virus isn't going to happen in the bubble, but I think they're very, very safe. I think that this could be a good preview for the next season because there's a huge possibility they might have to do this again.
Yeah, that's true.
Man, I feel like we could spend a whole live stream talking about it because there's so many what ifs. There's so many questions that aren't answered, and it's just – but again, the NBA offseason is going to happen. Dates are going to be very, very close to each other, and we'll just have to see. My dog just walked right into my room, by the way. All right, so Richard says, Payne had a good game, so let him go 0-10 in practice before inserting him into the next game.
Nice.
When is Baines going to play, says Blue. Oh, we kind of already talked about that. I'm just flying through the comments here. Mo Buckets, shout out to Mo Buckets. He has a YouTube channel as well. Nice. Who should we root for in the Spurs versus Kings game for the Suns? Neither.
Right, exactly.
I just think we picked up a game to the 8th seed. All right, let's keep flying in here. Did you have any questions for me or any other topics you wanted to talk about while I look through the comments here?
Right. I know most of the time where we're kind of like, I don't know, every time we talk Suns, I'm not we, but like I meant like when Suns are brought up, I feel like this time during the year we're talking about who are we getting in the NBA draft. And I feel like it's different this time. I don't know. I feel like the tanking is not in the mentality anymore, which I'm actually super excited about. They want to win. Devin Booker wants to win. It's just an amount of getting a step in the right direction. And I feel like this is the step in the right direction.
Thank you for saying that. That's totally well said. Totally agree with you. Omar says, Suns Geek, what's up? Richard says, the NBA bubble is the gold standard of, don't want to say it, protection. Will be I can't read. Awfully hard to say.
Infallible, I think. Infallible.
Yeah, infallible.
Oh, I just guessed.
I'm a terrible reader. I can't read. Official Romp, who's a fellow YouTuber, highly recommend his channel. Go subscribe right now to Official Romp. Says Cameron Payne is the MVP of the league.
Nice. Heck yeah.
That's so good. Richard says Payne is streaky, but a welcomed addition.
I like that. I like how you read that too.
I know, right? All right. I'm just reading through the comments here. Give me a second, guys. Cliff says Cameron Payne, 9 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals, 1 block. I did see his block earlier. It was nice. The dude's got a huge wingspan, by the way.
Right. Thanks, Cliff.
Yeah, thank you, Cliff. You came up clutch right there. Josiah the Baller says the Pelicans, Trailblazers, and Grizzlies are going to be hard to compete for the 8th spot, especially since the Pelicans and Blazers are fully healthy now. Totally agree. Totally agree. Can't stop thinking about the Cameron Payne. He's been a blessing on the court. Amen. All right. If Ayton turns into a reliable three-point shooter, will the negative perception behind drafting him #1 overall change? I'm going to let you answer this because I remember on our live stream, I preached about this.
Right. That's a great question. I don't know. So in my opinion, that's a very good question. I don't think so. I still think that he needs to be an overall player, and I meant defensively too. If he does make a three-point shot, then heck yeah, I'm all up for that. Obviously, the more points, the better. But I still think that he needs to get better defensively.
Right.
So give me that, and then we can start talking about it.
And again, not to make excuses for the guy, but he's so super young. He's only 22 years old. Give him time. Yeah, but I love the question though. Will the negative perception behind drafting him #1 overall change?
Right.
I don't know.
Right. Yeah, because it could be perception for anything. Exactly. So what about, in your opinion, do you think if he gets that 3-point shooters?
I think I kind of agree with you. I mean, it will help because it's like DeAndre Ayton can shoot threes. We need to lock down on that guy. This guy can make 2, 3, 4 threes a game, it would help his scoring average go up too. It would give him kind of a better reputation. But again, it's more about just being consistent defensively each and every single night, maybe averaging a block and a half or 2 a game. I'm not trying to make unrealistic expectations for the guy, but he had a really quiet first half and then kind of took over in the second half. 3-4 years from now, that should not be the case. You know? He should be on that Nikola Jokic, Joel Embiid, et cetera, level in 2 years, And it sucks. He's the #1 overall pick, so he has to live up to that potential.
I'm pretty sure, Zion is going to be in this conversation. I mean, I know he took a turn for the good, but I'm pretty sure if he has some sort of flaw that somebody can dissect, they're going to talk the same thing about him as well. But I mean, he's looking better though, so I don't know.
Yeah, and I mean, Zion probably has it a lot harder, man, because he's got LeBron James comparison.
Oh, yeah.
I would not want to live in that world. I don't care if the Wizards had no talent on the court. It's not our fault they got called to Orlando. They gave us this game.
I love that. That's a good one. Yeah. See, and that's kind of the way I feel about it too. Because, yeah, I can see the people's perspective of like, yeah, the Wizards weren't the best talented team out there, and it should have never been that close. But I think the bottom line is let's take it as a positive. You know, we only have 8 games, 7 games left to go, and it's just a step in the right direction, man.
Exactly. Well said, man. I really like your insight and kind of, I don't want to call you an outsider because you're obviously one of us, but like a different perspective.
Right. Exactly.
Logical Hoops coming up clutch. The NBA draft lottery is August 20th. The NBA draft is October 16th. I'll probably be having a lot of beer that day. And NBA free agency is October 18th. See, it's like I said, really close to each other, man. And it's crazy because I feel like even in September, we'll be in a whole new world with sports, you know, like hopefully it's a good world we're living in with sports, and hopefully it's a good world we're living in real life too, but it's insane, man. All right.
I know a lot of people about these questions here about Kelly Oubre on the comments here. So I guess my question to you would be, do you think if Kelly Oubre does not play in this 8 games or this next 7 games that are coming up, do you think he's going to get traded, or do you just think that do you really think it's more of an injury that they're trying to conserve him?
I think it's just an injury, but again, like why they're not like giving us any information about it is strange, but that's neither here nor there. I think Suns fans kind of overreacted. I mean, I think I saw an article that was like Kelly Oubre trade rumors, and I'm just like, come on, like he's injured, but he's done so much for the Phoenix Suns. He's 23, 24 years old, basically averages 20 a game. Why trade the guy? Like, I've been so anti-trade Kelly Oubre. I'm just like, I don't want it to happen.
So you just think it's a straight just injury, right? Like that's what they're.
Yeah. Now, if we were in normal circumstances, this would be really scary. I would be, you know what I mean? Because like, let's just pretend we were in the NBA season and Kelly Oubre goes down with the injury, recovers, and they're like, yeah, he's not playing today. Next game, he's not playing today. He's not playing today. I'd be furious.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Exactly. And I think that might be what some fans are experiencing right now because we're seeing it as a kind of like dash to the finish. You know, we've got 7 games to prove to see what we have, and we want to put our best players out there, but we can't with Kelly Oubre not there. That passion that that he brings it's missing tremendously, and it's just unfortunate. But I could definitely see if he is injured legitly, hold him out, man. Honestly, there's no point of sacrificing the next season.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, even if the Suns shock the world, which that feels like forever for now, until we're at that 8th game, it's like, I maybe don't play him. I don't know. Especially if Aaron Baines is healthy and can play, that helps. But they might want to take precaution on this. But again, I keep going back to this. Why isn't James Jones saying anything on it? It's just so confusing. I need to make a video at least addressing it because it's weird.
Was there anything here that said that Kelly Oubre might have got the you don't want to
the verse.
Yeah. I mean, maybe they don't want to like kind of spill his information out there, which I can respect that.
That's a theory, but if I'm correct, it was Rubio and Baines who got the virus. I wish we could like bleep ourselves out.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. But again, maybe you're right. Maybe Kelly got it, but they don't want to reveal it. I don't know. Because let's say he did, he would have to quarantine for at least a week. So, because I think Elie Okobo had to do that when he got here. Because, I mean, you don't have to be playing in these games. I don't know how the NFL and baseball are doing it, but you don't. Like, if you were an NBA player, you could say, sorry, I don't want to play until this is over, you know?
Right. No, you can opt out. Yeah, there's a lot of
Yeah.
players opting out of NFL. There's a lot of players opting out of MLB. And we're
Exactly.
starting to see it the closer and closer we're getting to the NFL season, that there's bigger names that are coming out, and it's kind of freaky, honestly.
Exactly. And I think that's why people were so like, the NBA bubble's not going to work, because what if like LeBron said no? It probably would have been over. But like,
Yeah.
But I think literally like 96% of players were like, yep, we're doing this. We believe in it. Because they did like surveys. I don't know if you knew that. They sent out surveys to players. They were like on conference calls with players. And obviously they got good feedback. So, because if not, we wouldn't be probably having this conversation.
Yeah, no, very true. But preach, man. I'm just so super happy that we're actually even sniffing that sports is back, man. Let me just tell you that it's been a very, very sad 3 months since it was like March when everything went down. And it was really depressing.
Right. I know, man. March feels like a lifetime ago.
Oh, it really does. The days were weird, man. Days were weird.
Just remember, guys, I don't mean to get preachy here. I don't mean to sound cheesy, but you are stronger than you were on March 1st. Because if not, you would not be here. That's all I got to say.
That's true.
Cliff says, can't complain about a guy giving you 20 and 10. There's a lot of bust number ones. Yeah, I agree with that. And unfortunately, though, and I don't mean to sound negative because I always keep it positive on this channel, but you should expect that out of DeAndre Ayton, 20 and 10. That should just be like that. So that's kind of why I was like, oh, Ayton started off the game really, really slow and energy and blah, blah, blah. Like, but I get what Cliff is saying. And thank you, Cliff. You've been here before, and I really appreciate you, man.
Yeah, she's being positive for sure. I like it. I like it.
Definitely. Diego says, Suns Geek, would you do a live stream during the draft? I did one last year, and it actually got a boatload of views, which is insane.
Honestly, I did a live stream for the NFL draft, and my goodness, it was so fun.
Exactly.
My biggest impact was that I was on a delay because I was watching it on like a live stream on my Fire Stick, so I had to go downstairs to like where my live TV was. So that was my only delay, but it's fun, man. It's so fun.
You're like, I gotta run upstairs and go check and run back down.
Yeah, pretty much, exactly. I had to like take my computer and be like, I have to end the stream. I had to make a whole new chat room. It was unfortunate because I had so much people in there, and then it dwindled down. But still, it was regardless. It was fun.
Well, Diego, I'll just say this: I can't like actually have the draft like on this, but I can like sit here during it. I remember during the draft lottery, I went live and like literally screamed at the TV. It's hilarious. Check it out on my channel.
Exactly.
So just know that videos will be coming all off season long. I think we're going to do more live streams even after the 8 games. I'd love to talk to you again. Because again, once Suns news happens, I'm going to be one of the first ones to talk about it.
Oh, for sure.
Logical Hoops says it's just weird that we're having competitive basketball for all 22 teams and not summer league. # summer basketball. Totally agree. I don't want to keep you too long, man. We've almost been live about an hour.
Wow.
I think we can open up this next 6 to possibly 10 minutes to whatever you guys want. I'm just gonna keep pulling up comments here because I think we're kind of coming down to the end.
Honestly, so here's my thing. And if you don't mind, I'm gonna talk a little bit about like what like the plan is and what we're trying to accomplish. So obviously everybody knows Suns Geek. He's the man for Suns. My channel was basically supposed to be for all the sports, but obviously if you're watching every single game out there, then you're not really having a life outside sports, which I can't do that. So
preach, brother, preach.
Yeah, I love the Cardinals. Diamondbacks are my second favorite team, and then we have the Suns, and then we have the Coyotes. So it's all a mix there. So what I'm trying to do, and what me and Suns Geek are trying to do, we want to have more live streams for the future. We want to kind of give a different flair, a different like view of the normal what you're hearing, because we honestly don't have very many people talking about the Phoenix Suns, talking about the Arizona Cardinals. Now the Arizona Cardinals are getting a little bit more hyped because Kyler Murray is, the next superstar. Currently right now, so we're on the hype train right now. But if we're talking about a regular season with the Arizona Cardinals, nobody would be talking about them. The Diamondbacks, nobody would be talking about them. So I feel like it would be a really cool opportunity, and that's why Suns Geek came I started looking at his channels, reached out to him on DM, and we want to kind of build something. And it's going to be a work in progress, but we want to do a lot more live streams, man. I'm super excited about the, I guess, the vibe between both of us. We're both chill guys, but honestly, once like the seasons, and if you're watching me during a game, man, I'm kind of like all over the place, and it's really weird.
No, I hear you, man. I'm the same way when I'm like actually watching the game. I'm all over the place too, especially if I have alcohol in me.
Oh yeah, oh yep.
I'm just passionate, man. I just love the game.
Yeah, man. And what's up, dude? Sorry, but go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I'll follow up with what you said. I think you're doing really, really good things on your channel. I'm not just saying that because you're a YouTuber and because I consider you a friend. I really, really mean that. Like, I watch your videos. I wouldn't watch them if I didn't like them. And I think that if we keep live streaming, making our videos, I think we're going to make some noise in the YouTube world, you know. And if you guys are watching this stream, there's about 21 people in here right now. Like, stay with us, guys. We got lots of things planned. I know I got things planned for my channel. It's just hard, man, because there's so much news. And you and I, we're not robots.
Nope.
It's like, it is hard to literally cover it all.
Yeah.
You know, and like,
I'm
a guy, I drink a lot of coffee. Right. I've been drinking these Monster Dragon teas, which are absolutely delicious, by the way. And even then, I can't cover it all. So
yeah, it's tough, man. Especially with this whole thing going on. It was super hard to even try to make videos,
right.
Bringing up content, and stuff like that. I'm happy that I finally found somebody that we can talk with, you know, Suns, you being like, you know, and I'm going to say expert because compared to like the knowledge that I know for the Phoenix Suns, it's very minimal to what you know. And you could probably say the same thing vice versa for the Cardinals or for the Diamondbacks. We all love our sports teams. We all want them to succeed, especially being here in Phoenix. We're not the Bostons. We're not the New Yorks. We're not the LAs. Oh,
right.
I hate LA teams, as you cannot tell. But yeah, I want to make sure that one day we can have a community where we're passionate about our sports teams here. And, you know, one day when I raise up my child of the future, you know, down the road, I want them to be proud to be a Cardinal fan, to be a Suns fan, to be a Diamondback fan, Coyote fan, or whatever the situation is, man. And that's what I want to bring to the table. I want me and Suns Geek to kind of give you kind of like a different flair of, you know, just our own opinions, man. We're not always right, but we do have the passion and we do love seeing it. When you guys hurt, we hurt. I can always guarantee you that.
Exactly. No, I 100% agree. And I appreciate you saying that, man. And I consider you a Cardinals and Diamondbacks expert because, again, that's why I watch your channel. And you're obviously a cool guy. I love talking to you. I love that we make live streams, and I can't wait to do more. You know, if you and I had the time and if you and I had the conversations and topics, we could do this every day, but we don't have that.
Right. Exactly.
You know?
I mean, maybe when something happens, man, I don't know, man, there was multiple different people that's been pitching to me like, hey man, you should make a podcast. You should do this. But honestly, it's really hard to make a podcast when you're just doing live streams, talking to yourselves and reading chats. You need that person that you could bounce off each other to kind of being like the yin to your yang, and not to sound cheesy, but you do need that. You need sometimes to be with somebody that disagrees with you because you don't want to listen to somebody that's having the same opinion as the other person. Like you really don't. But you also want that respect factor as well. So I don't know, man. Maybe somewhere down the road, man. We have 98.7, which is the sports radio station here in Arizona. You probably don't have the privilege of listening to it anymore because you're where you're at now. But honestly, I love listening to it. But starting my own branch, my own thing, it's cool to see it, man. It's really cool to see people adapting to like not so much adapting, but like taking kindly to the way you think of things. Sometimes I might overreact. And yeah, I had plenty of videos where I'm like flying off the rocket and I posted it. I'm like, oh man, I'm silly. Like I'm dumb. But I mean, it is what it is, honestly.
Yeah, no, I totally agree, man. And again, I hope I haven't like kept you too long, or I hope I haven't rambled on too much because I'm so used to live streaming by myself. But it's like, I would love to have you on at any time. And Grant says we need more voices on the Suns. I agree because, I mean, I'm my own biggest fan, and I really mean that. I really am. But like, I don't know everything, and that's why I love talking to other sports and especially other NBA fans. And I will literally ask them, "What do you think of the Suns?" Because I've heard it all. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm sure it's the same thing with you and the Cardinals. Like, you've probably heard it all.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know what I mean by that?
Yeah, no, 100% know what you mean.
And I think I kind of talked to you about that in the past. I'm like, I love talking to Suns fans, whether they're like the angriest or bitter or salty. Like, I'm like, just give it to me. Let me absorb it all in so I can just know what the Suns fans are thinking. But I agree. It'd be cool if somebody created another Suns channel, because it'd be awesome. It'd be another voice, you know, like, sure, it's competition, but it's like, it's not.
See, that's the funny thing. And I don't want to like ever say anything, but I think I've noticed more and more Cardinal channels popping up than I have ever seen and doing this. Now, granted, I've only been doing this for, I think we're going to come up in a year. No, actually,
yeah,
no,
I was about to say about a year, right?
Yeah, I hit my year already. So yeah, yay me. So
congratulations.
appreciate it, man. But honestly, like, I have never seen so many, and this is before I started my Cardinal YouTube channel. And I like to say it's all sports, but honestly, if I'm going to be 100% honest with you, it's drive towards the Arizona Cardinals, because that's the most I'm passionate about. So I've noticed so many. Oh, you're good. So many different Cardinal fans, like different YouTube pages, and I love it. I love it. I love to reach out to them and be like, hey, let me get you on the show. If this gives you publicity and makes your channel grow, good. I don't care. You know, you get better, I get better. That's just the way it is. It can't be about like, oh, somebody's coming up, I don't want to help them out. Nobody's going to get anywhere that way.
Exactly. And I totally agree, because, you know, you said like the Cardinals are obviously your driving force on your channel, but it's like, use that to your advantage. But at the same time, things are going to happen in the Diamondbacks. Things are going to happen in the Coyotes. Who's going to be the first to talk about it? You. So I think that's a good thing. And it's like, I feel like in a way you can, I don't want to talk numbers because that's not what it's about, but like you might get a whole bunch of subscribers for the fact that you are the AZ sports fan. It's awesome. We've talked about that before.
Right, exactly. And that's funny too, because I think, and I'm sorry, I don't mean to keep you, but we'll cut this short in a bit, but I just wanted to kind of like talk a little bit like about us, if that's okay with you.
Yeah. We're just opening it up to the chat and just.
Yeah, but me being the AZ sports fan, there was a comment that was posted out to me, and I told you this about before, where all he said was, AZ sports fan, all he talks about is the Cardinals. And I kind of took that to heart. And I was like, it's kind of true. I mean, like, that's exactly what I do. It's what I'm most passionate about. Should I change my name to the AZ Cardinal fan? Nah, it doesn't have the same ring to it. Honestly, it doesn't. But that's what
it really rolls off the tongue. It really does.
And that's why I reached out to Sunsgeek, because I would love a guy that has the knowledge that Sunsgeek has for the Phoenix Suns. Because why not be like, hey man, are you ready to do a live stream? Let's go ahead and knock this out. Let's do it. It's all about the personalities, man. Because honestly, people are subscribed because of your personality, your knowledge, and exactly what you bring to the table. And that's exactly why I subscribe to you, because I've seen it on this chat here that there is another Suns. There's another Suns channel out there. I think it's called like the solar.
Yeah, the solar panel.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, thank you.
I know those guys.
Yeah, I've seen them before too. But honestly, and not to like, because I'm here, but like I've watched a little bit. It's just different. Like they're different types of videos that are posted there compared to yours.
Exactly.
So you're always going to grab.
Again, I totally know what you're saying. And again, I don't want to keep you too long. We'll probably we'll go live for like 7 more minutes. I keep saying that.
Right.
We keep getting into these great conversations. My whole thing, my mindset has changed on this. Maybe a few years ago, I would have been like, oh my God, another Suns channel. This is bad, you know? But now my mindset's changed over the years, and I'm like, there's a ton of Suns podcasts out there.
Oh, yeah.
There's the solar panel, as we talked about. It's like, that's good. There needs to be more voices. And by the way, Diego, thank you so much for your nice comment, man. I appreciate you guys. We don't need any media hype. It's great. You guys keep making videos. Thank you, Diego. I appreciate you. I don't know. It's just more Suns voices, more Arizona Cardinals voices, more Arizona sports voices, because one day the Cardinals will be back in the Super Bowl. They'll be winning. They'll be doing great. One day the Suns will be a playoff contender. One day the Suns will be back in the finals. And I feel like that's when, again, it's not all about numbers. It's not about fame, but that's when we'll be like, this paid off, you know?
Exactly. 110%, my friend. 110%.
I'm just gonna keep pulling up comments. Steve Holler is here. Thank you, Steve. You've been active on here, and I really appreciate you, man. I like to feature the comments because I like to advertise it that way. Like, hey, come and join our live stream, and your comment will be featured. Do you drink any coffee or anything?
I don't actually. I'm one of those weird people that don't drink coffee. It actually gives me headaches. I don't know why.
Well, you and I can't be friends anymore on the stream.
Exactly. Exactly. It's okay, man. My wife says exactly the same thing, but she's still around. It's all good.
Right? That's awesome, man. Not to get too personal, but how long have you been married, if you don't mind me asking?
No, I don't mind at all. Was it March of 18? I suck at math. So 2 years?
Me too. I'm terrible at math.
2 years?
That's awesome, man. Congratulations.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you.
That's awesome. Yeah, Diego, we kind of talked about the Sun Solar podcast. I know those guys. I'm sure they know who I am. I think they've commented on a couple of my videos before.
Yeah, they do.
Hey, DJ Holmes, this guy, man, he's been here for a long time. He's been in past live streams. Real talk. If I want to hear anything about the Suns, I got to hit the Suns Geek or the solar panel.
That's what I love, man. That's good stuff right there.
Yep, definitely. And, I'd be lying to you if I said I didn't. I don't listen to every single podcast because there's so many Suns podcasts. There's so many. But I do listen to them because it's good to get that knowledge and maybe things I didn't think about. Yep. And a lot of Suns people out there have inspired me to make certain videos. So if I were the only voice on the Suns, like, it would just be bad. Right. And I'm not trying to sound negative, but it's true. Like, if you were the only voice on the Cardinals, like, you would, it just wouldn't work.
Yeah. People would hate me.
Steve, this sounds a little inappropriate, but I know what you're talking about.
Oh, God.
Steve Holler says, I hate LA teams. Yep. Cannot be a Lakers fan. Although, RIP, Kobe, RIP. Yeah. All right. I'm just pulling up comments. We will probably end the live stream here in a minute. I'm going to rapid fire these comments here. Hold on. Let me read this one real quick. Great job, gents. More collab. New York teams have a bunch of fans. I do like your guys' perspective. Thank you. I really appreciate you.
Let me say his name. Jean Edward.
Yeah.
So John Paul Edward de Dios. Thank you so much, man. Yeah, dude.
Good pronunciation.
Man, he was on Facebook. He made a funny comment. Like, I think that's his legit name. Like, that's his full entire name. And he completely took off Edward just to make it shorter for me. So thank you so much, man. It's a long name, but thank you so much. Appreciate you, man.
I think he should fire up a YouTube channel and just put that as his name.
Oh yeah. Yeah. That is his name on YouTube. And it's crazy. That's his actual name. He says, so
that's awesome, man. That's awesome. AZ Sports Fan, you're right. Now that there's hype for the Cardinals, there's more videos and channels. Yep, they're all trying to be like you, AZ Sports
Fan. It's crazy, man. It's nuts because it's like every other video you see is like the downfall of the Arizona Cardinals. How is the Arizona Cardinals going to do now? What's Kyler? It's crazy. It's like the people who would have talked about him before. Now that we got that same hype, they're like, let's make a video about the Arizona Cardinals. It's cool though. They're entertaining.
They're stealing our ideas, and we're going to sue them in the future.
That's all good. Honestly, they're entertaining as heck. I'm not even going to lie to you.
Steve Holler says, enough with the mutual love fest.
Right, exactly. And then look what I said on the bottom. Never.
Never. LOL. No, Steve's a good guy. He's always commenting on my videos. All right, man. If there's anything else you'd like to say it now.
No, man, just stay tuned, everybody, guys. I know there was like 30 people originally, and now we're left with 16. But thanks, guys, for just listening to us. Like, that's amazing on its own. We're thinking about some things in the works later on in the future. So if you do like what you hear, I mean, maybe a podcast will be in the future, but who knows? I mean, we got full-time jobs, but we'll see exactly what happens.
Exactly. Yeah, man. Once again, thank you a million times. Thank you for being on the channel. We definitely got to do more in the future. Because, we plan these things in advance, but sometimes it's hard because of schedules. Once again, you guys, for the 18 people that are still in here, subscribe to the AZ Sports Fan. I'll just wait. I'll wait till you guys subscribe. And then
I'll be waiting. If my number doesn't
I'll
go
check
by
my watch.
exactly, if by 18 subscribers up, then we're not listening. I'm just kidding. I'm just joking.
Go subscribe right now. And that's it, guys. The Phoenix Suns get their first win in the NBA bubble. DeAndre Ayton hit 2 threes, 125 to 112. Big shout out and big thank you to the AZ Sports Fan. And as always, guys, if you are new to this channel, which I'm sure you guys are not, please subscribe for everything Phoenix Suns. And if it has to deal with the Phoenix Suns, I'm going to make a video about it.